Guys, how are you? In this video, we are going to talk about how to write formula for quadratic expression. In the case of linear expression, you have a form x plus b is equal to 0. Sorry. So this time is equal to 0. In order to get expression for x, or in order to write this equation, x as a subject, you first transfer this one to 0. So you're gonna get ax is equal to 0 minus b. So you're gonna get ax is equal to minus b. Then this ax is equal to minus b. You do over a. The new x gonna be minus b over a. How about the quadratic expression? In the case of quadratic expression, the general formula, the standard formula for quadratic expression is ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0, where a, b, and c are any constants, but a cannot be 0. And this expression is called a quadratic expression. In order to get expression for x, or to write x as a subject, you first rewrite this ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Take the c to the other side. Ax squared plus bx is equal to 0 minus c, which is ax squared plus bx is equal to minus c. Now, the second step is to divide everything by the coefficient of x squared over a over a over a. Then x squared is going to be x squared plus b x over a is going to be minus c over a. Now, to make this thing perfect, to make x squared plus b over ax perfect, you add the square of b over a, half of the square of b over a in both sides. This time you're going to have x squared plus bx over a plus, add both sides this one, but b over a times half, and the square is b squared over 4a squared. So this is equal to how much? B squared over 4a squared is added here, and you do here again minus c over a plus b squared over 4a squared. You add b squared over 4a squared in both sides. Now, how do you do this one? Now this x squared plus bx over a plus b squared over 4a squared, this is equal to, you can simplify this one alone. So you have this, you can write this b squared minus 4a squared minus c over a. To have the same denominator, you can multiply this c over a by 4a over 4a, so that you can get, so a times 4a is 4a squared. So when you add this, when you subtract this, you get b squared. C times 4a is minus 4a c, everything over 4a squared, gonna be the resulting expression. Now, by adding this b squared over 4b squared, this factor, by adding this factor both sides, we have already made the expression perfect. So how do you get the square of that? Just you assume this one as a radical, then that is x. Assume there is a plus here, you do plus here, and you assume this one under radical. Square of this radical of this one is b squared, I mean b over 2a. Then you do this one square. Yes, this square is equal to this square is equal to how much? How do we simplify this? How do we simplify this one? So you have b squared, this is equal to b squared minus 4ac over 4a squared. But in your radicals, properties of radicals, if you have these things, you're gonna keep this in radical. because in order to remove this square, you have to keep this in radical. Yes. So to do that, first you have to do uh, the absolute value of the thing in the square, the absolute value of this one. So that is absolute value of x plus b over 2a is equal to the square root of b square minus 4ac everything over 4a square. But we know square root of a over b is the same as in your properties of radical. You can give a separate radical. This is the same as square root of a over square root of b. You can give a separate radical for the numerator and the denominator. This time, we are going to do the absolute value of x plus b over 2a. This um, is equal to this one is the square root of b squared minus 4ac over the square root of 4a squared. All right, now, so but this is equal to the square root of b squared minus 4ac over the square root of 4a squared is 2a. Okay, then this is equal to that. So in order to remove this absolute value sign, you have to put plus or minus sign here. So we have now x plus b over 2a absolute value is equal to square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Now, this time what you are going to do is, in order to remove the absolute value, you have to put plus or minus sign here. So that means x plus b over 2a is equal to square root of plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac everything over 2a. Now, we are going to solve for this x. We are going to subtract b over 2a both sides, meaning your x gonna be when you take this one to this side, you're gonna get plus or minus b squared minus 4ac over 2a minus b over 2a gonna be the resulting expression. Now your x gonna be, let's write this one here first. Let's write it here. So this means your x is equal to plus or minus, I'm sorry, before plus or minus, let's write minus b over 2a, because minus means this expression, something minus a minus b means minus b plus a, or if you have x minus y means it means just x minus y minus y plus x. That's the logic. That's the thing we did here. So now we have this b x is equal to b over 2a plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4a squared, I mean 4ac, okay, over 2a. Now, this minus b over 2a and b squared minus 4ac over 2a have the same denominator 2a, meaning your x is going to be minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac everything over 2a. So you can let this b squared minus 4ac maybe some variable, you can call it z. So your x gonna be minus b plus or minus keep this in square z over 2 times a, but your z is the square root of b squared minus 4ac should be the z. Then you do for z first, then this is how to find the expression for x in the case of ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0 is given and required to get x. But there are two things to do here. There are two possibilities. X is going to be minus b plus z over 2a, where z is square root of b squared minus 4ac, or the other route is x is going to be minus b minus z over 2 times a. So there are two possibilities. Now remember, there are things to note. The first note is if b squared minus for AC is greater than 0. So you're going to have, this implies a quadratic expression, this ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0 has two roots. Okay, two roots. Then how do you get those two roots? One of the root is, you can call it x1, which is equal to minus b plus square root. You can call it z, because z is the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. And the other value of x is the second x, the second root is equal to minus b minus z over 2 times a. Now, what if this a, in the case where this b squared minus 4ac, b squared minus 4ac, if this is 0, you are going to have this. If this is 0, if b squared minus 4ac is 0, so this implies the quadratic equation ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0 has one root. Okay, this has one root, only one root. And the root is minus b plus or minus z, already z is 0, over 2 times a. So from minus b, you either add or subtract 0, it's the same thing. So your x gonna be, the root x gonna be minus b over 2a. But there are another possibilities. In the case b squared minus 4ac is less than 0, then the quadratic equation, this implies the quadratic equation ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0 has no root, no root, because you're going to have something negative in the radical, minus b squared minus 4ac less than 0 means, this means something negative in the radical, which is not real number. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe if you like the video. Subscribe.